I don't know how to start this video. I never really do know how to. The amount of hype that has just like sprung upon us in these past couple of days, like what is going on in this franchise? I literally don't know what's going on anymore, and I don't even know if I want to know. I'm kind of all here for it. I'm kind of all here for what we're doing right now. Like, Sonic Team, I didn't know you were locked the fuck in. Like, keep on cooking. I once again have to talk about my hype for Sonic and Shadow Generations in a very impromptu, unscripted way. I just need to get my thoughts out to you as soon as possible, because like I can't make a script around how excited I am for this. Like, we just got a trailer and gameplay from a gamesfest on top of it. They exceeded any expectations I would have had. But quite literally, I could not contain my excitement any longer. I had to talk about the new information that we got for Sonic and Shadow Generations, because my hype for it is going through the roof. It is climbing up the walls, and it sounds like I'm creaming, and I think I am. I think, Sonic Team, I think you're making me cream. But this is my worst intro to a video I've ever made. But the amount that has been revealed to us concerning Sonic and Shadow Generations in these past couple of days alone sets a bar that I didn't think we'd be getting so soon, quite truthfully. I didn't think we'd be reaching a Sonic game that looks this high quality so soon after Frontiers. Like, I'm truly glad that we're not having to wait another 5-ish years for the next big installment, which, to be fair, yes, this is still at the end of the day a remaster of Generations, but specifically Shadow Generations looks like it will be the best Sonic game in the franchise. And I know, again, I know that's a lot coming off of just having Frontiers, and it's funny to me, or at least for me, because Frontiers is currently my favorite game in the franchise for how much it's innovated and how much new it brought to the table with the open zone. But before Frontiers, Generations, the original, was my undefeated favorite game of the franchise, just for how consistently good it is, how consistently fast-paced the levels are without needing some sort of, you know, gimmick to try and shake things up. It's just pure boost and then pure classic Sonic, which, you know, classic Sonic is what it is in Generations in terms of his physics. I do prefer the level design and physics and extra powers we got in Superstars, or how fast flowing it was in Mania. But at the end of the day, Generations is like a top 3 game to me. It only recently got debunked when Frontiers came out. But with Generations being my old favorite and Frontiers being my new favorite, Sonic X Shadow Generations legally by law has to be the new favorite coming out so soon. I literally, in my old Frontiers review, I think I said that, you know, Frontiers is my favorite game until a sequel comes out. This game was well worth the wait and is without a doubt my favorite Sonic game ever until a sequel comes out. I didn't know the sequel was coming out so soon. I'm just a little bit in awe how we've gotten here so soon, from the jump in quality from Forces to Frontiers, and now we're already taking the next leap. Because yeah, again, we waited 5 years for Frontiers, which was awesome. It was like a huge payoff, but already only like a year or so later to the jump to Shadow Generations, that's kind of insane when you think about it like that. We wouldn't even be getting a Shadow Generations if Frontiers didn't do well too. That's another thing to think about, even if Shadow Generations was being developed around the same time as Frontiers when the team expanded. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about just how insane the game is looking. Because it's crazy how, with so little that we know, we just recently got the next trailer for the game along with some gameplay from gamesfest. And those two things alone have sparked so much hype, so much ambition that Sonic Team is willing to put into this. And if I'm being completely honest, not only does specifically Shadow Generations, not only could that be the best Sonic game, I think it will. Like, just straight up, I think it will be the best Sonic game. Not only is Shadow Generations attached to the already beloved and really well acclaimed Sonic Generations, but oh my god, where do I even begin? I have notes up, but where do I begin with what was been revealed for Shadow Generations. Well, I think the first thing I want to address immediately is to debunk the claims that, oh my god, this is just forces. Oh my god, what is this, forces? This looks like forces. Shut the fuck up. Respectfully, disrespectfully, did we watch the same gameplay? No, like actually, genuine question. If you are someone out there who thinks Shadow Generations looks like forces again, like, oh, sorry guys, pack it up. Maybe next time they'll do better. Respectfully, did we watch the same gameplay? Because, like, sorry, not sorry. I think you're blind. No, but in all seriousness, though, watching that gameplay was a little surreal, if I'm being honest. And the funny thing is, when I watched that gameplay on what was it, the 8th of June, I was in the middle of traveling to go watch the Sonic Symphony in New York. Like, come on now. And then when I actually made it to the Symphony, they pulled up the trailer for Sonic Shadow Generations, and everyone was like cheering so much. Like, that was awesome, dude. But getting back on topic, even though I don't really have a topic, the gameplay, it actually looks phenomenal. And yes, they did bring back the original Generations team to do level design, which I guess you could look at that a little sourly, being like, the new current level design team at Sonic Team didn't, like, I don't want to say learn or improve, because, you know, the open zone platforming in Frontiers is really solid and really fun to chain together. But I don't necessarily have a problem that they brought back some of the original team from Generations to make more levels for this one. And it goes to show that they're not trying to mimic the original Generations. They're doing their own new, unique thing while still making the level design look engaging and long. The first level that was in the demo, and is probably also the first level in Shadow Generations, took the average previewer 5 to 6 minutes long. That's 3 to 4 Forces levels. And the things that people were actually able to do in the first demo level is honestly insane. And yes, I am showing the high quality capture card gameplay of whoever was here taking this footage, which they for some reason, I guess, never played a Sonic game, don't know how to use the boost button. It is what it is. It's just, we've been through this before. We've been through this before, where people previewing who gets to preview it on a capture and get the footage on the capture card don't exactly know how to hold down the boost button and stuff like that. This also happened with the Frontiers IGN first, which I don't necessarily want to remember, but specifically if we look at our GOAT Fidel, love you, but it should have been me. Like, come on now. Why didn't you guys let me play it? I'm the boost king. But specifically, if we look at the GOAT Fidel, when he recorded himself playing the game, you know, Fidel actually being, you know, playing Sonic games for his career, he did really well. Like, he speeded through that level while taking so many different paths. And for the sake of clarity, I'm a hardcore boost fan. And what I like the most about the boost games is that quick time reaction. Like, oh my god, there's a path over here. Or like, oh, I memorized the route. I memorized the optimal route. That, like, oh, if I do like quick steps here, if I jump immediately out of this, then it's like quick time reactions. It's super satisfying. And I've seen people needing more of that in order for levels to be good in things like Forces or cyberspace, or now in a Shadow Generations. And that isn't the only thing that makes a good boost level a good boost level. Yeah, that's how it started out in things like Unleashed or the original Generations. But things like Colors, and now in the Final Horizon DLC or the Space Colony Arc Act 1, it doesn't always need to be like high-speed, quick reactions. Like, oh my god, this one thing that passed by me for like a couple seconds, that's a different route, right? How do I quickly not get onto that path over there? Like, it doesn't always need to be that. Of course, that's one of the most fun aspects of it, but the route that they're taking for level designing, at least this first level for Shadow Generations, it looks so damn fun. Like, it looks so damn fun. Shadow looks like a beauty to control. That being said, I'm not the one controlling it as yet, so I can't judge that as yet. But what I can judge is, of course, the level design that we saw. And comparing it to Forces, you kind of look like an idiot, not gonna lie. The big thing for me, again, aside from the fact that this first demo level was an average 5 minutes, and Fidel speeding through it took him 4.5 minutes, like that is perfect length to me. The big takeaway for me is that, yeah, if you want to compare it to Forces, then Forces was a lot of just straightaways. No matter if you were in 3D or 2D, it was mostly straight shots, while this first level does so many different dynamic camera angles. You're going all throughout the level. You're making great use of the entire scenery and set pieces that you're doing. And the big thing is that they turned these regular levels into full-on cinematic amusements, like full-on entertainment eye candy, which is still requiring of you to be attentive and reacting to the gameplay at hand. Like, you can't just like mindlessly plow through it, and if you do, then you're gonna be slow, you're gonna be taking worse routes. And that is the thing that I would say makes a great boost level. The alternate paths aren't just alternate paths for like no reason. They're doing things like either giving you shortcuts or they're giving you more rings to get more boost. Like, it doesn't have to be just like a straight up, oh, this alternate path was like very like barely visible to me, or like I'm speeding through this quick step area and there's an alternate path I see over there. Well, the alternate path needs like some sort of purpose, whether that be an item, a shortcut, or again, more boost so that you can keep on going faster. And we do know, thanks to Fidel's gameplay, that there is some sort of collectibles on the stage. I think he said something, he said it was like Gerald Robotnik memory tokens or something like that of the such, something relating to Gerald, which the fact that they're doing even more things within the stages relating to Gerald, not just the external journal that comes with the physical version, which is insane because I'm gonna need to get physical and digital versions. So up. Also, you lucky fellas in Japan with all these different deluxe bundles and collector's editions, with the one that has the shadow statue and then the one that has the acrylic stands of those beautiful renders, might I say, those beautiful renders and that artwork. Dude, can we get something like that over here? Like, I'm just saying. Still talking about the level design, I haven't even gotten to the best part about it, which is all of Shadow's unique powers. Shadow finally utilizing his chaos control in like a prominent way. Like, it's not just for cinematics, it's not just for like oh, he's using chaos control in his cutscene or something like that. Like, no, it's actually part of his gameplay. It's actually part of his moveset, where if you get chaos energy from these items, or if you get chaos energy from destroying robots, Shadow can then use chaos control to stop time, stop platforms, stop objects, and doing so in the right time will net you those alternate path shortcuts. And that's actually insane. That's actually such smart game design, and proves to show that new boost levels, which again, created by at least some of the same team that made the original generation stages, these new boost stages don't need to copy how frantic the stages from Unleashed or Generations were. Because again, take Colors for example, a really great boost game that's consistently fun all around, but its fast-pacedness in its level design and alternate routes and stuff like that doesn't necessarily meet like how frantic the alternate routes and overall speed is in Generations and Unleashed. But they take a different route with it, which worked really good for the game that it is, you know, that being with the Wisps and just how they went about the alternate routes in Colors in general. It's just an unfortunate thing where we just keep on constantly comparing what the new thing is compared to the old thing. Like, who set up this high expectation that every boost game going forward has to match the exact same level design as like the earlier boost game? The new design for the levels that they're doing right now is working because of how fun the mechanics are implemented in this new style with Shadow's specific powers, especially after basing it after some of Frontier's physics, specifically in the Hedgehog Engine 2. like how you can rail launch with keeping a little bit of momentum, do a little bit of boosting off of slopes and keeping a little bit of that height. And I believe in some instances, correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw Fidel jump out of a boost, which is kind of crazy to me, because if you can actually do that consistently, like you jump, boost, and then enact your double jump, that is some crazy movement, if I'm being honest with you. That makes some great movement and potential skips in levels. Like, I think you can literally skip the first rail ride section in Space Colony Arc Act 1, but even then, there was another rail right at the very top of the first portion of the stage. Like, I never even saw that rail, and there's still so many more alternate paths that they had included. So, sorry, it's quite literally the opposite from Forces in terms of length in the level and the amount that is going on. And in terms of its spectacle too. Oh my god. I need to gush about this, but the Mad Lads at Sonic Team started adding mid-level cutscenes, and that's fucking phenomenal. Like, that's actually one of the coolest things I keep on looking at. Like, look at how Shadow starts punching this missile back into where it got launched in the middle of time stopping with Chaos Control, and then he does a little roll on the ground. Like, that is such an attention to detail. Like, oh, dude. I thought the attention to detail in animation was really good in Frontiers, but these animations are in the middle of the stage. Like, they're pulling out stops like this while just casually playing through the stage. If Frontiers had its spectacle in its bosses and Supersonic fighting these giant titans, then Shadow Generations has spectacle in simply having these stages play out in real time. And what I mean like that is, like, these animations and these transitions, there's no loading screens. It's just really clean animations. And the fact, oh my god, I'm gushing about it as I'm talking about it. I quite literally can't get over when Black Doom shows up, warps the stage to be Radical Highway, and it doesn't load. It just transitions into the stage. The stage is just there, loaded in during that awesome cutscene, that beautifully animated cutscene. Bro, I can't believe I've talked so much about the first level, and I've been only talking about the Space Colony Arc part of it. I haven't even touched Radical Highway as yet. To be fair though, Radical Highway is a bit more just like linear in terms of you're listening to Shadow talk to Black Doom, and like of the spectacle of like, whoa, Black Doom is back, and he completely warped the stage and all the crazy elements going around in the background, which, might I say, this game looks phenomenal in Hedgehog Engine 2. Like, what? I know people were complaining that the original generations didn't get too much of a graphical upgrade, which, counterpoint, did it need it? The game already looked pretty beautiful, but I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself when I say that, because Shadow Generations looks godly whoa, I can't speak English. Shadow Generations looks beautiful in Hedgehog Engine 2. Like, the lighting on it and all of the effects, again, the animations, no load times, and all the things that are going on in the background of the stage. Dude, I'm gasming just thinking about it. And my god, I am so happy to welcome back the return of victory animations. These are some of the most best things I love in Sonic games, and I was so sad that they weren't in Frontiers. But Shadow has its own unique set of victory animations, and look at how pissed he looks at you when you get a C rank. Dude, you don't want to mess with him. He's too cool. Shadow's always been cool, but he just looks so fucking cool here. And I know I've been talking about it for so long, but if you'll let me go back to the level design just one more time, there's this one area where the whole Space Colony Arc section opens up, and there's so many different paths, and some of which you can only reach if you take the alternate route from the area before. There's literally an area before where it's very much in a hallway with still different paths that you can launch yourself off of, and you can teleport through the laser wall just like you could in 06. You literally, Shadow's homing attack literally can still teleport him through lasers, and you can use that to get to a higher route. And oh my god, I'm fanboying. I quite literally physically cannot understand anyone who still claims that this gameplay looks like Forces, because like it's almost comical, it's almost funny at this point, because like we clearly didn't watch the same thing. There's so many dynamic camera movements, and there's still, again, so many different unique pathways. There's even this one pathway where you can use chaos control in a way that dashes you across the sky, or like across the air. Like, I wanna know how you can get to that pathway. I wanna know how you can take it. And maybe I should finally talk about the gamesfest trailer, because that blew me away. If you saw my reaction, that literally blew me away. We're getting a stage from Heroes for Shadow and a stage from 06. We're actually getting Kingdom Valley officially in I'm about to say Frontiers, in Generations. That's actually wild to me. And it goes to show that Sonic Team is able to acknowledge their past games that might have not worked out so well for them. I mean, they already started acknowledging the past in Frontiers and the Egg Momos and stuff like that, but quite truly bringing these games back to life so that they can take what didn't work, or like maybe in the level design or in the story, and bring it back for a new chance in Shadow Generations. I welcome that. I welcome that so much. It makes me so hopeful for what significance these stages offer to Shadow, because like, as for the Hero stage, maybe something with the Shadow Android. As for the Kingdom Valley, could we actually see Mephiles or Silver? Like, that would be insane. Again, it goes to show that Sonic Team really is embracing the kind of things that this series has been known for, and they're slowly dipping their toes back into it. Like, the stylized locations, the stylized coolness. Like, it sounds cheesy to say, but quite truly, yeah, a little bit of the edginess. I'm just so happy with the direction they're going for Shadow Generations. I know things were skeptical at first with the very reveal trailer, but I think it's safe to say, after what we know now and what we've seen, that things are looking pretty damn good. And one of the best parts to me personally as a Frontiers fan, I finally get to talk about this part, is that we're basically getting Sonic Frontiers 2 already inside of Shadow Generations. That's wild to me. If you didn't know, there is a specific hub world for Shadow, his own version of White Space. You know, Sonic's version is just 2D scrolling past the levels. Shadow's version of White Space is a fully 3D hub world that is open zone. It's literally an open zone with open zone controls, or I guess literally as they describe it, it's inspired off of the open zone gameplay of Sonic Frontiers. That's as like quoted from the description. And it looks awesome. It literally looks awesome. And again, as a Frontiers fan, it's kind of wild to say that the art direction of just White Space and its buildings does kind of look better than just the islands. The fact of the matter is that you are literally in this hub to talk to characters, to unlock new areas, to unlock new powers, and use those new powers to get to new areas. And from what I can gather, when doing so, the white space will grow bigger, and you'll gain access to more levels. And it sounds like Shadow Generations is gonna be lengthy. Like, if I'm being honest, Shadow Generations is literally Sonic Frontiers 2. It's literally another Frontiers island. You're literally exploring an open zone to unlock more stages, and by doing so, it gets bigger, and then you have more access to more stages. Like, this sounds incredible. I want to play this already, and it's coming out so soon. And of course, I had to mention this, but the remixes, dude. My god, the remixes. Oh my god, the remix of Radical Highway. They literally have two different remixes of Radical Highway. The remix for Radical Highway sounded pretty damn good in the trailer, but then there's the remix that is in the actual level, and it just dials it up by another 100. How did they make two banger versions of this stage? And that goes double for the rocking guitar in the Biolizard fight, which, can I just say, looks like a pretty damn cool fight. And apparently said that it gave challenge to some people, which, again, probably haven't played much Sonic games, but still, the fact that it could offer a decent challenge in the level, out of the level, and in the boss. Also, again, speaking of the Biolizard fight, can I just talk about how cool they stylized Shadow? And again, I know I'm repeating some things here and there, but again, the animations that they gave Shadow, and just like absolutely obliterating the Biolizard. And oh my god, Shadow's voice actor, oh my god, Kirk, you are doing such an amazing job in this game. Oh my god, I'm in love. And if this all somehow didn't appeal to you, then Shadow Generations is still attached to the already great Sonic Generations, which in itself is still getting more content to the game to make it an overall quality of life improvement and overall good package. Both Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic have the drop dash. There's a new Chao rescue mission, which I don't exactly know what that entails as yet, or like what that rewards you. Maybe it's something just like, oh, you find the Chao on a stage and bring it to a certain area, like probably something like that. But in terms of the rewards, maybe they give you points towards skins, perhaps? Since skins are going to be in the game, which, oh my god, we only know of 2 skins so far, and they're the most legendary pieces of media to have ever come out as franchise. We are finally getting a polygonal adventure Sonic skin, and Shadow's beta design of Terios. Dude, how can you not like this game? No, like genuinely, how can you not like this game? Truly, Generations was a celebration at the time of everything Sonic and its past 20 years. Sonic X Shadow Generations seems like a celebration of literally everything, quite literally everything that we've been through from the beginning to Frontiers. Not only is Dreamcast Sonic technically finally in the game after all these years, but it really is a celebration of the 3 eras. Not the Dreamcast era, but the Classic era, Modern era, and the current era, the Frontiers era. I've seen people calling it the Revival era, which I'm all here for. We are quite literally going to have Classic Sonic gameplay, Modern Sonic Boost gameplay with between Modern Sonic and Shadow, and open zone gameplay, which is of course always fully 3D and probably the closest you can get to, you know, kind of going back to how explorative the adventure era was. If the open zone in Shadow Generations is just as good or maybe even better than any of the open zones in Frontiers, then we're literally sitting with, dare I say, a game of the year, like if I'm being honest. It's honestly crazy. It's actually wild between so many different things, like Shadow's specific level design with chaos control and how great the level design looks in general with its alternate paths and amount of challenge that it brings, to the open zone and how much platforming there may be in that and how much explorativeness there will be for finding new powers and new challenges within the open zone itself, to Shadow's other powers like Chaos Spear and the wings that he has, which is so badass. And again, the extras, all of the extras, the skins, still the base game Generations, all of the crazy animations in the literally in the level cutscenes, like all of these things and more are just pointing towards this game already becoming the best Sonic game. Sonic Generations was my favorite game for the longest time until Frontiers took that spot. It's literally, this game is literally the combination of new and old, and it's doing it in such a phenomenal way where we are getting the proper treatment for Shadow that he has deserved for quite a while. This is the closest we are gonna get to a new Shadow game. I mean, it basically is a new Shadow game, and they're doing it the way that we want it to. They're actually doing it with so much detail, so much care, so much love and attention. They cooked. Literally, Sonic Team has been listening to the community, have been listening to the fans for what they want, and they're actually handling this with so much care. They're putting in so much effort into Shadow Generations and making it look like such a fun experience, look like so much fun level design, and actually paying homage and actually in-depth detail to Shadow's story. Like, it looks like it's gonna be a blast. I don't know what to tell you. hopefully I don't eat my words, and of course we'll still have to wait for more information, and of course playing it for ourselves, and of course once you do play it for yourself, that's when you should form an opinion. But I quite truly have been rewatching the footage over and over and over and over because it looks so good. The levels look so good, the music's so good, the attention to detail in the animations and cutscenes look so good, and I just can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to learn more about the other levels. I can't wait to learn more about how many levels there will be in general and how the open zone is going to be, and even more details on what more changes will be in the base game of Sonic Generations. All I know is that these 4 months can't go by soon enough because I need to play. I need it inside of me, right? I'm ending the video this way, huh? That didn't come out right.